Yeah, I'm good. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Kathryn. I'm a developer here at Configura, and today I'm talking about our Configura Q&A team. This is not a presentation on how to do QA yourself. This is how to work with our internal quality assurance team at Configura. So I'm going to be talking basically about what the team is, if you haven't heard of them, what they do, why you should use them, when you are working with them, how to interact with them, and how to work with them. And then if you're interested, and at the end, that sounds like something that would be really good for your project, I'll also be talking about how to get them involved with your project. So, for those who don't know, we have our own QA team, and they're based in our Kuala Lumpur office in Malaysia, and they are Q&A quality assurance resources, and they're available in the same way that our developer resources are. So it's an hourly rate, just like our Configura developers. So one of the questions we get is, what does the process of developing look like when QA is a part of that, when our team is a part of the whole thing? Basically, when a project or an extension or product line starts, the project team as a whole, including project managers, developers, QA, and anyone else who should be involved, gets together and creates a backlog of tickets in VisionFlow, soon to be Jira. And that usually includes all products and features, as specific as you can get for the whole product line. Then, probably what you're all very familiar with, a developer takes a ticket, assigns it to themselves, they complete it, and then mark it, instead of ready for test, mark it ready for QA. QA will get notified of this, and they'll take over, and they'll pass or fail it as they find. When they're testing, they do many types of tests. They'll do manual tests, like just if a user is just dealing with this one product, does it work as functional, or does it function as specified? They can do client-specific tests, so does this product work with this other specific product and do exactly this thing that we want? Or does this specific feature happen when you do this, etc.? And they have the tools and the knowledge to come up with lots of automated testing. Additionally, they will let you know if you missed any requirements for the ticket or for the feature. And if they find any bugs, either in that product or that symbol or in any other ones caused by this one, they will send in a complete log report. So that'll include a descriptive explanation, logs, drawings, screenshots, the exact steps that they took to get to that point, and what happened versus what they expected to happen. It contains each one of the reports contains everything you need in order to solve the problem that they found. Additionally, they can do like a full sweep of the extension, like test everything all together, make sure like a user could do a complete drawing, everything that's necessary, every feature, just put together a full drawing and test out how everything works together. And if it provides typicals, they can recreate those typicals, make sure it's easy, flows smoothly, makes sense, etc. And then they'll ultimately pass or fail that one ticket. So why use our Configura QA team instead of like testing yourself or having your developers test the things they do? Aside from like just making sure I completed this, make sure Quick does what it's supposed to. Our QA team has a lot of resources already available to them. One of those is that they already have developer licenses. So if you are an external developer and you want to, well, if you're an external, maybe you're not a developer, but you want to test something that developers created before it goes out to users, if you want to test in develop mode, you need to buy an additional developer license. But our Q&A people already have all those, so you don't need to buy those. They can, if they test in develop mode, they can also do, they receive all of the updates that we as developers push out and submit to the extension right away. the extension is up to date with all the most recent fixes, and then we don't have to make builds for them just to be able to test what's going on. They also are familiar with testing in release mode, so then you have the confidence to know this is exactly what my users will be dealing with. This is exactly what the experiences is going to be like. So it gives you a lot more confidence when you finally do release, you know what your users are going to get. It also, depending on your workflow and how your project is run and the steps that your project goes through, it might be easier with your release cycle to do everything at once, then do a build, send it off to QA before release. And in that case, release mode might be also better for QA. Either way, they are familiar with both of them and have the full ability to test with both modes. Also, when they find issues and they report those issues, they really know what they're doing. They know, as we mentioned before, they know exactly what a developer needs in order to solve a problem. So their complete failure report, they succinctly describe the problem. They include all necessary information, steps, logs, screenshots, etc. You don't need to wait on users for necessary info that's missing, steps that they didn't have. You don't have to worry about misinterpreting what was actually going on or knowing what specifically caused a crash somewhere. Basically, they know exactly what we need in order to develop for your extension. Also, and probably most importantly, they have experience. They do this all day, every day. They know lots of common failures and how to test quickly and efficiently. They're very good at it. They are familiar with the needs and workings of our CET platform as a whole, and as an extension, both as in general as a concept and your extension specifically. And since your extension won't be the only one they're testing, they're also familiar with lots of other extensions, and they know how to keep consistency and what is desirable behavior across multiple extensions. One benefit to our QA team, which most people probably not thought of, since they're based in Kuala Lumpur, our QA team is about 12 to 13 hours time difference from us. So it creates a sort of 24-hour working cycle. So we can develop a bunch of stuff, submit it at the end of the day, and then go home. And since their working hours are during the evening, during the night, we come back the next day, and they have gone through and tested everything and have feedback ready for us. So we get their responses almost immediately the next day. Lastly, our QA team has a notable cost difference. So our experienced QA developers are $90 an hour as opposed to $160 an hour for developers if you want your developers to do all your testing. So it's the experience and the price difference, since the work is very different. So it's better to not have your developers doing Q&A. It's good to have your developers actually developing. One of the main questions we get about working with our QA team is, what does your process look like? How does it feel like working with them? And many manufacturers have already gotten involved with our QA team, got them as an integral part of their process. It's pretty much every single time been nice and tight with quality out the door instead of quality as an afterthought. So quality isn't something that, it's not something pushed to the back burner in order to achieve release deadlines. If you set up QA with your project properly and efficiently, it's a seamless involvement. For example, if I'm working on a line of work surfaces and it takes me 2-3 weeks to do so, as I'm going along and I complete certain parts, certain features, I'm submitting those and sending them off to QA. And then I'm immediately getting feedback like, this was really good, this was really difficult, this caused another bug, this could be improved this way. And so the overall quality of the product improves during the entire course of its development. And it's happening, and then the end product is much better because of it. Having to go through QA is a worry for many people, but it's not noticeable really. It's aside from the good feedback, which is something we already desire anyway, it's not an extra step. It's not a time delay. It's something that it just feels like a natural part of the process. So it's not a bunch of extra bureaucracy, which is what it sounds like at first. It's a seamless part, a natural part of our development environment, and the team that we have is very good. I have talked with other developers who've also worked with them, and they've all been very satisfied with our QA team, and they don't have bad experiences with them, essentially. It's always good, and they know what they're doing, and they're very good and efficient at it. So if you have our QA team involved in your project, when you interact with them and communicating with them, it's basically, it's very similar to interacting with everybody normally. So often people will create a subsection in Microsoft Teams, so you have constant communication, instant messaging, and then as normal through tickets on Vision Flow or Jira, with comments transferring, passing and failing, updates, emails from all those, etc. So if this interests you, and it sounds like a good advantage for your extension, and it sounds like something that would help with development, help with the speed and quality of your extension or your product lines, or if any of you just want to know more, everyone at everyone at Configura can help out, but especially the account managers. Most likely your project has an account manager assigned to it. Our 3 AMs are Therese Aku, Kevin Johnson, and Todd McBride, and they know everything there is to know about all of this. And they will help with any aspect of the process. They'll help you answer questions, can help make sure that it's a good choice for your project financially, good choice for the quality of the project, and let you know what it would look like, how the process would change. And so everyone is available and very willing to help, and we do highly recommend them with full confidence. So that's pretty much everything I have. Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
What do you think it looks like to your implementation partner? Would it be a kind of a matter of us as implementation partners kind of convincing a client to go to you guys directly for QA, or would the implementation partner kind of interact directly with you to kind of, I guess, have QA on like retainer, perhaps for a given project? And just
I haven't specifically dealt with that, so.
So the way that we're kind of handling this now is it's included in the project proposal. So day one, when they're engaging with this customer, they are going to use QA. So it's not really an option because in our view, this is something that makes or breaks a project.
right.
So we include that as for every X amount of hours, there's X amount of hours in QA, and so they're projects are all doing that. Older projects we haven't done that too. So anybody you're currently working with, I can get them on board.
Right. So I think this question is more specifically to IPs and how it works.
Well, I'm saying. I think for you guys, you're going to be working with a customer,
right.
So that's the approach I would recommend taking. Is from the get go as you're going through that sales process, it's part of that proposal.
Sure.
Then getting it going would probably be like a three-way conversation, probably between them, you, and us.
Well, once you need to get it in like actually being QA,
sure.
That's just more or less telling us that hey, this project wants to use QA. Now they're going to add that to their board of Jira. So those tickets as they're pushed into ready for test show up in the QA.
Okay.
So there's a lot of stuff built into Jira that's going to basically make that seamless for you once you push it to ready for test.
So I guess the idea would be that a essential client would be paying the implementation partner and for development, and then paying Configura for QA. or the implementation partner being
there is a little sticking point there.
Yeah.
That'd have to be worked out. I wouldn't necessarily suggest invoicing, having configure invoice for QA and then you guys invoice for your time.
Right.
I would see you guys invoicing for that time, and then we can work with how that comes back to you and the implementation partner.
Sure.
You know, outside of that, just streamline that process
sure.
for the
Right.
customer. Nobody wants that complication in billing. Does that answer everything?
Yes, but follow-up question. Is it possible to have anyone from, again, if you're like an implementation partner and say, perhaps you wanted to create your own QA team, would Configure QA be available to, I guess, help train us on how to do that?
Absolutely.
They're already doing that, actually.
Yep, absolutely. You can probably do it remotely with our QA team.
They're happy to come here.
Yeah, they'll come here too.
I personally have already taken the QA training from them. So.
There's QA training.
Yeah, this started it's fairly recent.
Sure. Okay, I've seen a couple of like webinars and stuff come through. I didn't realize there was actual.
Yeah. There's a 5-day virtual training. But I would recommend, if you're thinking OSC would like to create a QA team, it would be probably smartest to have them come.
Right. Yeah.
Any other questions? Well, I guess that's everything then. Thank you.